Hey everybody, Doreen Adore Design. Welcome to Christmas in July. Today's design, I'm going to be doing a white grapevine with a Santa Claus on it. The white grapevine is about 20 inches and it's an oval, and the Santa Claus came from Ben Franklin. I got him last year. I like the oval with the long part of the Santa Claus, and I went ahead and attached him, but I'm going to tell you how I did it. On here, this is styrofoam, so it's nice. Even though it's kind of hard, it's still easy to get through. So I took a wire, and all I did was went on both sides, way up here at the top, fed it through, and then you can see where I just twisted it off and tied it. And I did the exact same thing down on the beard. So what I did is I raised some of his beard, and I put the wire up underneath, and then brought that back on top. Exact same thing. You can see where I attached it. And it's nice and light, so it's easy to design with. Okay, on today's design, I'm going to show you that you don't need a lot of product to make a really pretty holiday design. We're going to be using 2 of these stems. I got these at my wholesaler, but you can find these just about anywhere. Anybody online who sells supplies are going to have all kinds of beautiful swags picks like this. What I liked about this one, I've already got my berries, I've already got some bells, I've got a little pine cone, and then I've got the greenery that's got all the sparkle to it that kind of will bring out the sparkle in our snow or our Santa Claus beard. So we're going to try to get by with just 2 of those, and then I might use some of this eucalyptus that's frosted. This one came from Hobby Lobby, and I think they have them out already. It was like $3.99, so I paid like 40% of it. I don't know if it's got a number on here or not. CP1899. And then I have some from my wholesaler, exact same thing, just a little bit longer pieces. So we might use some of this also. And then we're going to make our bow, and that's it. So we're going to have 2 of these, our wreath base, or Santa Claus, and maybe a little bit of this filler. And then for the bow, I'm going to keep it in red and white. And this one came from Craft Outlet. I believe this one came from Craft Outlet, and this one came from Sam's, and it's a sheer white, but it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, so I really like that look. So that's what we're going to make our bow with. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to get some pipe cleaners here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my first stem and I'm going to bring it up and around. So I'm going to bend this a little bit because I want it not to overtake my snowman. I keep saying snowman, Santa Claus, but I want him to kind of fill in around it. So I'm going to bend this a little bit. Let's bring our greenery out. This one I'm going to kind of twist. And then I'm just going to zip tie it down. So I'm just going to feed my zip tie through here. I don't want my zip tie to go really deep down in my, there we go. I want it to stay just to go under 1 or 2 pieces of the vine and then bring it back up. Okay, so let's go ahead and place that. You're not going to see this zip tie. Now, if you don't want to use zip ties, you can use wire, you could use pipe cleaners, whatever feels comfortable with you, with the way you design. And I'll probably use 2. Make sure I've got it where I want. And then let's cut that off. And then I'm just going to turn that to the back side. And we've got our first piece added. Nice and cute. Okay, so let's get our second piece going. Now this one I may even trim back a little bit, just depending on how long. Nope, I don't think I will. So I'm going to bend this one going the opposite direction because it's going to come up and around. So let's go ahead and kind of bend this a little bit. I'm going to pull my berries and my greenery forward a little bit. I don't want it to lay flat. I want it to kind of look natural and have some curve to it. And I'm going to feed that right through the back side, I think. And zip tie it right there. I like to feed my zip tie through first. And then feed my greenery through it. And let's just zip tie our second one down. I'm going to bend that a little bit. I'm going to bring my berries over across the top. Okay, look how cute he looks with just the two pieces of greenery. Okay, our bow, I think I'm going to put right here in between these two bells. When I get my bow on, we may not see these two bells, so I may end up cutting these bells and moving them somewhere else possibly. But let's go ahead and get our bow made before I add any of the other filler in. Oops. There we go. And I'll put my hanger on at the end. I like to do mine at the end. I know a lot of people put theirs on at the beginning, but depending on how I arrange and the weight of it, sometimes it'll move around. So I like to have mine done and then add the hanger. For mine that I keep at home, I don't use hangers on the back. On my grapevines, I just take my wreath hanger and feed it through the back of the grapevine. I think it kind of makes it a little more sturdy. Okay, so I'm just going to do a hand bow. This is kind of a heavy ribbon, so I don't think I'm going to do a tail up. I think I'm going to start with my tails down, and I am. So this tail is probably about 13, 14, yep, about 14 inches, and I'm just taking it and I pinched it. So I'm going to go straight up. And that loop's probably going to be about 6 to 7. It's 7 inches. So now I'm going to twist it and bring that forward to me. So then I'm going to do the exact same thing. Bring it towards me and then back up. I'm going to make that top one just a little bit shorter. And then I'm going to cut a tail. So our bow is going to probably go like this with our ribbon. Okay, next I'm going to do some white. And I'm just going to lay it across. And this one's going to be kind of hard to see because it's the sheer, but I'm just basically going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to bring it down, pinch it in the middle. Take it straight up and bring it back down. And I'm going to probably do a couple of these. So all I'm doing is bringing it down, pinching it, and I'm cinching it with my first finger and my thumb. You don't have to hold it hard. If you hold it too hard, then your hands are going to start cramping up. I like the sheerness of this for the design. Okay, now we're going to use our last red. I think I'll lay it going this way. And you're just doing the exact same thing, pinching it in the middle, bringing it down, and pinching it. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a sheer right here in the middle. Making just a little center loop, a little circle. And that's what our bow is going to look like. I'm going to take my zip tie right to that middle hoop, down and around, and secure it. And before I go really tight, I'm going to take my longer zip tie, and I'm going to feed it right through the back underneath. And that's what I'm going to secure my bow with to my grapevine. And for those of you that buy bows and stuff, that's how I ship them, is that you'll always have that back zip tie to attach it to, or your lantern or wreath, whatever you're designing with. Okay, let's go ahead and get our bow. And I'm just feeding it through my stem here. I don't want it to come all the way around, so I need to bring it back a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to hold my bow where I want it as I secure it. I'm hoping I don't have to move my bells around. I'm hoping they'll, I think they will. Okay, nice and tight. So let's just kind of fluff these out. Okay, I'm going to move this bottom bell. It was laying down flat, so we're going to pull this one up, and he's going to probably cover up a little bit of my white center, but that's okay because I'd rather have the bell in the center of my bow. And there's our other one. I'm going to curl up my ends. This one I'm going to cut a little bit shorter. It's a heavier ribbon, so it may not curl quite as tight. And then let's dovetail the top one up there. let's hang our guy here straight. Just put him right in there. There you go. And look how cute he looks. Okay, I am going to use a little bit of the filler. You don't have to. You can stop right now and have just an adorable, whimsical, fun. This would be a great wreath for inside or outside. Like if you had in a bathroom would be adorable, your kitchen, above a fireplace, or on the front door also. But I think I just want to put a little bit of filler around it. And this is just going to add a little more dimension with some different greenery. And some of this you won't be able to see from you guys looking at it, but when you look at the wreath up close, whoever buys it will see it. I'm going to pull those off the bottom. You can see a little bit of my branch coming up there, so we're going to cover that up. And I'll show you a close-up of it once I'm going to cut a few more pieces off here. Okay, I'm going to put a piece or two behind my bow at the top, and that'll help keep my bow coming forward nice and full instead of it going back and laying flat. So just a little bit of stability on it. Just a couple more pieces and we will be done. I always hang on to the side to make sure it doesn't fall off when I'm designing. Okay, I think this will be our last piece. Okay, my bottom branch, I'm going to show you, is sticking out underneath. So I'm going to take a zip tie and I'll zip tie that down. So let's get our bow just the way we want it. Bring our bell out a little bit so you can see our bells. Okay, I think this one is done. Now look how fun and cute and whimsical. without using a ton of product. So to recap real quick, it's an 18 or 20 inch oval white grapevine. We had the Santa Claus head. I got that from Ben Franklin. I secured it by putting wire at the top and at the bottom and covering it up with his little top of his hat here and his little whiskers. I used 2 stems, one going up, one coming down, zip tied those in, and then our bow with 3 ribbons. And then I just used some filler. So you can kind of see where I did the filler, kind of back in between. And actually, I might think I'm going to add a little piece or 2 of the filler in the bow. Not covering up my bell, but I always kind of like a little bit of the greenery coming out. And I'm just dipping the end in the hot glue, and then I'll just actually stick it right directly clear up in there where the knot of the bow is, and it'll just dry to the ribbon. There we go. Now I feel better. I put some greenery coming out of the bow. So there is our first Christmas in July. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I am going to have to take the sunflowers and stuff down because it seems a little weird that I'm doing Christmas in July with bumblebees and daisies around me. Okay, guys, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow for our second design for Christmas in July. Take care. Bye-bye.